Have you ever really stopped and wondered who actually writes the rules for stuff like 4G and 5G? It really does feel like magic that it all just works. But behind the curtain, there's this one incredibly powerful organization setting the stage for absolutely everyone. So today we're going to pull back that curtain on 3GPP, the hidden rulebook that pretty much governs our entire wireless world.
I mean, just think about it for a second, right? How can your iPhone in New York call a Samsung phone in Seoul when they're on completely different mobile networks without even the slightest hiccup? Well, this incredible feat of global teamwork, it's no accident. It is the result of a very, very meticulously designed system. And to really appreciate the system we have, you kind of have to imagine a world without it. A world of just pure communication chaos.
Yeah, this slide here shows the two possibilities perfectly. Over on the left, you've got a world with no standards. It would be a total digital Tower of Babel. Your phone would be basically useless the second you left your home network. Roaming? Nope, forget about it. But on the right, you see the world we actually live in. A world that's built on three key ideas: interoperability, standardization, and the ability to scale up to support billions of users. This is the world that was designed on purpose.
So, who is the architect behind all this incredible order? Well, let's meet the organization at the very heart of it all. It's called 3GPP. That stands for the Third Generation Partnership Project. Now, don't let that third generation part fool you, okay? They're the masterminds behind not just 3G, but also 4G, which you probably know as LTE, and the whole revolution we're in now, 5G, which is officially called NR, for New Radio. They literally create the blueprint for how our mobile devices talk to each other.
And really, their whole mission comes down to this one simple idea. It's that straightforward and that profound. See, 3GPP doesn't build the networks or make the phones. They write the universal instruction manual that everyone else has to follow. So who are these rule makers? Well, it's not some kind of secret society. It's actually a massive collaboration of companies that are normally rivals. I mean, think about the biggest names in mobile. The telecom operators, the companies making the chips inside your phone, the vendors building all the network gear, they all come together under the 3GPP banner to propose, debate, and somehow agree on these global standards.
Okay, so how does this massive collaboration actually work in practice? Let's take a look at the structure and the process they use to continuously evolve our mobile technology. So the work is broken down into three main technical groups. You can think of it like building a car. First, you've got RAN, the radio access network. These are the engineers defining the physics, the actual engine of the wireless connection. Then you have CT for core network and terminals. They handle the electronics, all the signaling and protocols that make that engine run. And finally, you have SA, or service and system aspects. They're like the designers, looking at the big picture, defining the car's overall architecture and what it can actually do.
Now, this work happens in stages they call releases, and this timeline shows that evolution perfectly. See that first point? Release 8 gave us LTE, the foundation of 4G. Then, a huge leap forward with Release 15. That was the birth of 5G NR. The later releases, like 16 and 17, they're not starting over. They're building on that foundation, adding these incredible new capabilities for things like ultra-reliable, low-latency communication, and of course, the massive Internet of Things. So let's zoom in on that a bit and look at 3GPP's central role in creating the 5G world that we're living in right now.
This right here is the most crucial point to get. 5G is a standard called 5GNR, or New Radio. They are one and the same thing, and 3GPP is the organization that defined every single aspect of it. It is the global standard.
And what's in that standard? Well, it's a whole toolkit of revolutionary technologies. You've got stuff like OFDM for more efficient data transmission, massive MIMO, which uses tons of antennas for more capacity, and really clever tricks like beamforming to aim the signal right at your device. They also define game changers like network slicing and, of course, low latency communication. Every single one of these was standardized by 3GPP.
You know, it really just comes down to this. Without this one coordinating body, 5G would have been a fragmented mess of competing, incompatible technologies. 3GPP is the reason it works as a single, seamless global system. Period.
All right, so this is all really fascinating from a technical point of view, but why should you, especially if you're an engineer or a student, actually care about a standards body?
And look, that's a totally fair question. This can all seem pretty abstract, but I'm telling you, understanding this organization is one of the most practical things you can do for a career in wireless.
Because when you understand 3GPP, you understand how real-world systems actually work. This isn't just theory from a textbook. This is the blueprint used to build the modems, the physical layer, and the RF systems in every single device. Knowing this stuff prepares you for top roles in wireless R&D, and it positions you to not just use 5G, but to help define what comes next, like 6G.
So, if we're going to sum it all up, 3GPP is the invisible engine, the architectural blueprint that drives the entire global mobile industry. It's the reason for that seamless connectivity we all take for granted every single day.
And that brings us to a final thought. The experts at 3GPP created this incredibly complex rulebook that made 5G a reality. So, as we start looking to the future, what new challenges are going to emerge? And what entirely new rules will they need to write for 6G? What do you think that next chapter of communication is going to look like?